Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So, unfortunately, it does kind of feel like as the days keep going by here, that the chances of the Jets re-signing defensive end Bryce Huff, who obviously is, there's a lot to like about him as a prospect. He's a homegrown player. He's had success in multiple systems with two different coaching staffs, two different styles of defense completely, a 3-4 with Greg Williams, and then of course the 4-3 with Jeff Ulbrich and Robert Saleh. He's young. He's coming off the best season of his career in a limited role too. Man, it sucks, right? It absolutely sucks that we're at this point right now where it just seems like the Jets are fine letting him walk. And on one hand, you kind of understand it because the team did go out and draft Will McDonald in the first round a year ago. And before that, the season prior, they drafted Jermaine Johnson in the first round. So ideally, you have two first-round defensive ends drafted in back-to-back seasons on their cheap rookie deals. Those two guys, if you were to ask a fan, yeah, they would probably get the start. And then behind both of those guys, you have Michael Clemens, John Franklin Myers can bounce out to the outside. And this is before free agency, before waiver claims, before, the NFL draft. So there's still other areas where the Jets can add depth at, defensive end here, edge rusher. But man, it just, like Jets fans have been talking about re-signing Bryce Huff, I feel like forever, for like a season and a half, right? Just get it done, homegrown. He's an ascending player that always seems to make an impact. He can always seem to get after quarterbacks whenever he's in the game. But as we all know, Saleh and Ulbrich like to rotate guys in, rotate guys out, which is totally fine. And that's probably part of the reason why the Jets have so many successful pass rushers. But with that said, we've heard Bryce Huff come out and say he's not willing to take a hometown discount. I don't necessarily blame him. If I was coming off the best season of my career, the team doesn't really show that much interest in wanting to bring me back, as well as he's only playing in a limited role. Yeah, of course, I would maybe want to go somewhere else, maximize the financial, revenue along with maximizing my playing time. Right, you're only an NFL player one time, so I don't necessarily blame Huff for looking at free agency as a massive opportunity for him to potentially become like a household name, right, for another team out there, while at the same time cashing in. But again, you're just looking at Joe Douglas, you're looking at Saleh, at Jeff Ulbrich, and you're saying, man, it just sucks that we're potentially going to let this guy leave. Now, Connor Hughes of SNY did report that a tag does seem unlikely at this point in time, as well as the fact that Hughes doesn't believe that an offer has currently been made to Bryce Huff. So at this point in time, it just kind of feels like free agency is going to start, right? That legal tampering period. Huff is just going to walk and he's going to sign elsewhere, and that's going to be it. And as much as it sucks to see the Jets operating like this, because this is not the first time that we've had a successful, productive, homegrown player just leave for nothing. Man, it really does kind of get to me. But I will say this. The positive here, we at least have defensive ends to fill that room, and if we don't bring Bryce Huff back, we can invest the money in the offensive line, right? This is just something that never gets addressed. We desperately need help at multiple positions on both sides of the football, left side and right side. We need help with the starters. We need help with the backups. So, ideally speaking, if you're not going to pay Bryce Huff, whatever it is, the $14, $15, $16 million a season, you can now allocate that money to the O-line or, potentially a wide receiver 2 or something like that. Get a massive upgrade at slot wide receiver or backup quarterback, right? There's a lot more flexibility that the team has without bringing Huff back. But at the end of the day, for a win-now football team that is eyeing winning the Super Bowl, eyeing winning the division, and we don't really know how long of a window we have with Aaron Rodgers, with the pressure of Joe Douglas, the pressure of Saleh, the pressure of Hackett, all compounded into the season, and we're literally letting, statistically speaking, our best pass rusher walk for nothing. It's a tough pill to swallow, right? In a perfect world, I want Bryce Huff back. I do. But again, at this point in time, it just does not seem like it's going to happen. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that things change. You know, it'd be awesome to see a report come out that Huff is back on a multi-year deal that's relatively cheaper than the 14, 15, 16 mil a season. That'd be great. But realistically speaking, objectively speaking, right, if I put myself in Huff's shoes and the Jets, you know, according to Connor Hughes here, he believes that no offer's been made. You know, if I'm Huff, I'm like, I'll see ya. I'm leaving. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, go Jets.